This is Scott Homeshek here with Rashad Wilson from River Valley Tang Soo Academy. We're starting a new video series. We want to take the traditional one-steps that are part of the Tang Soo curriculum and give our students a way of practicing them in a number of different ways. These one-steps are based on the World Tang Soo Association's standard one-steps. However, we have taken certain liberties with those one-steps for the sake of our drills. Do not use these videos as a definitive source saying this is the way the one-step needs to be done. More, I want you to take the video as an education on some interesting drills that can be done with one-steps from any martial arts system. The first series that we're going to do is called Sequential by 5. And I get our distance, goes back to attack, and what we're going to do is off of a single punch, we're going to combine our first 5 one-steps. Ho! 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to switch places so you can see that from the other angle. Attack comes in. Ho! Number 1. Rolls right into number 2, rolls right into 3, and then 4, and 5, and then we come back. Very important for our attacker to make sure he holds his hand out as I'm doing them. I don't want him to drop this hand as I'm continuing my one-steps because I may need it for some of the advanced ones, other one-steps that come through. Good. 1 through 5 at speed. Ho! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continuing on with the 6 through 10 set. In the 6 through 10 set, you're going to see the one-steps done on the traditional line and then also done on the non-traditional line. This is just a way to show that you don't have to stay on the traditional lines. Both of them will work in a real self-defense situation. Ho! 6, my feet come together. 7, I step back. 8, I step in. 9, I slide out. 10. On the non-traditional line, I can start out with 6 on the traditional line and then I'm going to stay on the outside line. You're going to see that all the one-steps will work from that position. Mr. Olson attacks. Ho! 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From the other direction, first the traditional line of 6 through 10. Ho! 6, feet come together and apart for 7, step back for 8, step in for 9, slide out for 10, and then on the non-traditional line, ho! Start on the outside, but I'm going to stay here for 7, 8, 9, and 10. 6 through 10 at speed. Ho! Ho! Continuing with the 11 to 15 set, first we're going to demonstrate with the traditional line, and then afterwards we will move in and out of the traditional lines. Very important when you're practicing this drill to help your students recall their numbers. Say the numbers as we're doing them. Ho! 11, 12, 13, pass the arm over, 14, 15. On the traditional line. You might choose not to do the takedown to 15, that's entirely your choice. If I work on the non-traditional line, ho! After 11, maybe I stay back here for 12. I strike once, twice, 3 times for 13, come around behind for 14, and then do a forward throw for 15. All right, so I did not stay on the traditional line, but you see all the one-step work just fine. We'll do both of those sets from the other direction. Ho! 11. 12. Push the head back. Leaves you room to do 13. Bump the arm over. Come in for 14. Prepare the hip throw for 15. In this case, I didn't set Mr. Olson on the floor. Working on non-traditional lines. Ho! We start on 11 traditional. Come behind him for 12. Strike once, twice, 3 times for 13. Walk around the back leg for 14. Step in front, pitching forward for 15. Through 15 at speed. Ho! (16 through 20) on the traditional line. Ho! 16. The footwork, when you stay in the traditional line, becomes important. 17, 18, 19, and 20. If I choose, I can stay in the traditional line, or I can move off the traditional line. Ho! I do 16 here. I'm going to do 17 from back here. I'm going to do 18 turning this way. I'm going to acquire his other arm for 19 and move to 20. I'm on the traditional line, but now I'm doing it as a left hand. So you see that we can confine our students to strictly doing them quote unquote by the book, or we can give them some liberties that will teach them how to transition from one technique to the next technique based on the situation that they're in, removing the restrictions, not confining them to it must be done with this specific footwork. Let's switch places, Mr. Olson. Traditional line, 16, ho! 16, footwork sets up 17, sets up 18, footwork sets up 19, footwork sets up 20. Working around the body, ho! 16, 17, 18, acquiring the other arm for 19. Since I'm here, I'm going to do a left-sided traditional line attack on 20. (16 through 20) at speed. Ho! The traditional lines on 21 through 25. Mr. Olson attacks. Ho! 21. Reach right down, acquire at the end. Into 22. Slide into the arm bar for 23. Move around. Coming in, I have to transition him to get access to the chin on 24. And then I come around and do the wrap on 25. Those were all on the traditional line. Now I can do the same set and work on the non-traditional line. Back to attack. Ho! In this case, I'm coming here for 21 on the inside line. I'm going to pass it off, go there on 22. I'm going to arm bar and move him on 23. Come on the outside line for 24. And then I can do the same thing on 25 and work the bend backwards to break the neck. All the one steps will work both on the inside line and the outside line. Let's switch positions, Mr. Olson, so we can see that again. 21 through 25, traditional line. Ho! I'm on the outside. I'm staying on the outside. Still on the outside, I need to move to the inside and then stay on the inside. 21 through 25. Staying on the non-traditional line, Mr. Olson comes in. 21. 22, here's the arm bar. 23, I transition him out. Do the uppercut, the spear hand, and the chop for 24. I slide in, and get the break on 25. (21 through 25) at speed. Ho! Final series, 26 through 30 in the sequential by 5 set. Ho! Traditional line. 26. I fade out, acquire for 27. I already have his wrist for 28. I'm already here for 29. Notice I don't take him down on 29 because I need to get into number 30. You take them down to 29, you can't quickly transition. On the non-traditional line, if I go outside line on 26, ho! We break here. I'm going to come here, do my ridge hand, and the knee strike to 27. We're going to go outside wrist lock for 28. I'm going to come in, ridge hand, back fist for 29, and I'm going to fight in from the inside line on 30. Switch positions. 26, traditional, ho! 27, ridge hand and the elbow strike. 28, 29, and 30. Non-traditional lines. Ho! 26. 27. Transition to 28. Use the high block to his chin for 29. And then I'm going to choke him from the inside line on 30. (26 through 30) at speed. Ho! These drills are designed to give your students some opportunities to learn how to transition from one position to the next. It also makes it a little bit more engaging for one-steps, especially for our black belt students who've been doing some of these same one-steps for 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. Hopefully you've enjoyed the sets. Stay tuned for additional videos in the future. The arm directly into 23. Move back. Doing the wrong one. 20 is the word. 24, sir. Moving on, 21 through 25. Mr. Olson goes back to the pack. Ho! This is our traditional line. 21, I stand up.
Awesome moves, sir.
Arm sets up. 22, immediately step into the arm bar lock on 23. Moving him, coming in. I'm going to do it again. Ho! No, 21 through 25 at speed. Ho! Sorry, that was all. 21 through 25 at speed. Ho!
Someone help me!
26 through 30 at speed.